Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumain Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and it repeats every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment.
Did you know that elderly care and support are essential aspects of our society, reflecting our values and compassion towards older generations? Providing care for the elderly involves meeting their physical, emotional, and social needs as they age. This care can include assistance with daily activities, medical support, companionship, creating a safe and comfortable environment for them to thrive in their later years. It's crucial to respect and honor the wisdom and experiences of the elderly while ensuring they receive the care and support they require to maintain their quality of life even as they age. It's Inside Today on Global Television. I am Jumai Manson. I am being joined by a very special individual, no other person than Mr. Lugard Okunigbo. Stay tuned, the program continues shortly. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today on Global Television, and we're talking about and looking at a very sensitive issue. It's all about the safety and care of the elderly. Yes, our elderly when it comes to our parents, our grandparents, and yes, great-grandparents. And like I said, I'm being joined by Lugard Okunigbo. He is the Director General, Nigerian Women Economic Development Project, and he's here with me via Zoom. Good afternoon, Mr. Lugard.
Yeah, good afternoon. Happy to have you.
Oh, thank you for being a part of the program. Now, Mr. Lugard, we're talking about the care and safety of the elderly. Now, when we look at that very critically, now, what are the different types of elderly care services available here in Nigeria, if we have one, aside we as children or grandchildren taking care of the elderly?
Well, it will interest you to note that for almost more than 50 years of Nigeria, since Nigeria's independence, we never had the policy that addressed the aged in the society. And it will be interesting to take you through memory lane, what the true situation is. So before you begin to ask what are the types of elderly centers or programs available, we need to first of all ask ourselves, do we even have a policy that drives the elderly in our society? Just in 2018, thereabouts, the former president, President Muhammadu Buhari, pushed for the establishment of the National Senior Citizen Center, NSCC, which today is under the leadership of a Director General, the person of Dr. M.M. Omokaro. Dr. M.M. Omokaro is a specialist and a professional, is an associate professor of gerontology. So she is she is an expert and vast in elderly issues, and it wasn't a surprise for us to see that she was given that appointment at that particular time. And before then, she has actually pushed for gerontology as a course in Nigeria tertiary institutions. As we speak, up to 2020, no Nigerian university was doing any program or academic program on gerontology. But if you travel abroad, you have this kind of courses. So first and foremost, we lack the academics in that field. And as such, designing policies, programs, projects that will address the elderly in our society is very far-fetched. I'm not surprised because we don't also have it. That is why you see our pension system does not really address the elderly even after they have served the nation meritoriously for 30 to 35 years before their retirement. You still see us having elderly persons be abused and the respect is not there. The support system is not really there. What we have is children and grandchildren taking care of their fathers and their mothers when they age. But in terms of social safety and programs and projects, we hardly have such in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Lugard, I want to ask, do you think as children who are grown up and they have parents like their father, their mother, they take out time to care for their parents who are aged at home? You know, we have a lot of busy schedules. A lot of children will say they are too busy. Do you think we take it out as a preference to care for our elderly parents?
I will tell you, we take our time because since the government we have from top to bottom, when I say top to bottom, I'm not campaigning for a political party in no way. I'm talking of both from the federal to the local government, I mean from federal to state and down to the local government. There is no such support system mechanism that provides for the elderly in the society. And so we are left with no option but to take care of our parents when they grow old. So I can tell you, each and every one of us have our own design method of doing that. I know of someone, she has always been on a Mughal. Every three months, she goes to one family from there to another. She had 4 children, 3 girls, 1 boy. And before she goes round, the year is over. And while she's taking care of the children that are newly born, the newborn baby, the children of hers are also taking care of her. That's one system. Then you also have those that, okay, mom, grandmom is old, okay, come and stay with us. And they have their house help that takes care of them. Well, it's still not really in a professional manner, but just being done just as a way to take care of the elderly persons in our society. And once again, you will understand that most elderly persons in our society will always want to look up to their children because they give birth to their children. And so the children also see it as a responsibility to take care of their parents when they see them aging. This is what we have at the moment in our society. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lugard, let's look at what are the signs that indicate an elderly person may need professional care assistance. Now, in this side of the world where we are, do we have old people's homes, or we prefer for our parents to be with us in our home for us to care for them? What do you think are the advantages or disadvantages of old people's homes?
Well, I recall when I was growing up, specifically when I was in my primary school, the Catholic Church there had an old people's home. And I can tell you from, if I recall very well, they were not really taken care of, but at least it provided a succor for those elderly persons who could not even have anyone to take care of them. The truth of the matter is that if you look at the current economic situation we are, where even graduates are finding it difficult to take care of themselves, then you begin to talk of, is it your elderly parents, you now begin to have that capacity to take care of. And so, well, if you want to ask me the differences, the advantage and disadvantage, yes, there are advantages, there are disadvantages. One of the advantages when you have an old people's home is that you are off the hook of rushing back home, responsibility, getting calls at odd hours, you not being free, diversion of your interests. Maybe you want to travel, you are thinking of, oh, grandma may need that drug, oh, grandma needs that attention and all that. So when you have an old people's home that is professionally taking care of such categories of persons, you are free to pursue other things. So it becomes a game of you go and do the work while the grandma do the shopping by providing whatever you have to take care of him or her. That's one. But when you have them at your home residence, you have that understanding of the person you want to take care of, which is your grandma or grandpa. You know what he or she needs per time. You know the way you will take care of your own is never the way somebody will take care of it, of that person. That you will agree. Even mothers that give birth to children want to ensure that they take care of their children, even when they want to travel. They have that phobia. Oh, will this person be able to take care of my daughter well? Will he know when he gives signs that he's hungry? Not every child that is hungry have the ability to come and tell you to your face, oh, Mom, I'm hungry. Some will display some attitude for you to know that they are hungry. And so the same thing also with the elderly person, because if you look at elderly persons, they are not too different from growing children, because they are aging. So sometimes they behave very funny, they behave childish, but that is just the space where they find themselves. And I think it's a space that everyone will, desire to be one day. But when you look at the other side of maybe ill health that will need special attention, and some have aging sicknesses where that they cannot move around. Some may need some like Pampers, and all that. So you find out that our society has not really been groomed to have professionals that take care of such persons, and so it becomes like I won't use the word nuisance, but
Okay.
it looks somehow someone who wants to render that service. It takes only someone that is a social worker and has the passion to do that kind of job. But I can tell you, if you put money by the side, a lot of Nigerians will go into it. You ask me, a lot of
all right, Mr. Lugard,
that
I want to ask a question. I know many children who are all grown up, they are married, they have kids of their own. Do you think now, with how the economy is, do you think most children do not have that quality time with their aged parents, that care and support that ought to be given to them? They don't have it as much as they need to have it. What do you think can cause all of these issues? And how do you think some children or a child that is listening that has aged parents can balance this whole solution?
Yeah, Juma, I will take you through a brief discussion I had with someone who's schooled in 4 continents of the world. He's one of my mentors. And while we're talking, he said, look at, he said, the country does not have a system for the elderly. And that is why that's one of the reasons why you see high level corruption in the civil service. Why? Because anyone that finds him or herself in that position in civil service will want to amass wealth because he knows that there is no pension system. A system where you make contribution to the pension system, and when you retire, for you to get your money back becomes a difficulty. You go through rigorous process. We see a lot of pensioners begging for what they have labored for. Juma, I must tell you the truth. It will demand someone at that point to begin to think of, oh, how will he save? So you see a situation now that even when you have young people seeing their parents aging, they say, look, better save, you better gather the opportunity there for you now. So everybody wants to save and amass to take care of themselves when they retire. But in other climes, no. You see, when you send your children to school, it's an investment. And that investment is supposed to yield for you and also for your children. But in Nigeria, it's not. When you see a 40 years old boy, a man, or will I say man now, still staying with the parents, and the parents is aging, he's yet to even get married to be able to fend for himself because the job is not there. And you now say begin to take care of the aged person. So they begin, that alone is already a social divide that we need to address in Nigeria. And if you look at the economic situation we are finding ourselves, I must tell you,
Exactly.
it is very, very, very appalling. I talked to someone right now, she's about to retire next year, and she said the ulcer drug she bought for 4,000 naira some time ago, she bought it this time 15,000 naira. 15,000 naira. And she asked me, she said, look at how much is my salary? How many age persons? I mean, you need to know what these age persons are going through, let alone the younger ones who does not have the means to take care of them. We are, I mean, let me use the word of our father, former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He said Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. The keg of gunpowder now is not just from the youth, it's from the entire society. The aged persons today, you can see, that's why you are not surprised to see parents not, I mean, a societal decadence. Because you see a young boy bring money, buy car, the parents are not so bothered. Some of them are even angry that if they had known when they were young, like they are children, they would have done something worse. I must tell you that the society needs a total revamp for us to get it right.
All right, Mr. Lugard, do you think some children do not give their aged parents enough love and support that they need to?
Yes, of course, that is true. That's very correct.
And then what could be the cause of that? They don't get enough care,
Yes.
they don't get enough love, and they don't get enough support. What could actually be the cause of that?
It could be due to finance. It could be so many factors are involved. Now, if you have a parents that never catered or cared for the children, then what do you expect back? There must be a payback time. And when you have broken homes, when the father left the family and the young man struggled all his way to get to the top, and when he now becomes a successful person, you now want to say, that is my son. The son will not tell you, who were you my father the other time when he was growing up? So that's one. Then you also have societal decadence. Moral standards have decayed. And so people don't even care to even understand that they have to respect and take care of the elderly. The elderly in question, not just your father and your mother, but even the elderly you see in the society. You drag with them in the vehicle, you sit comfortably when they want to enter the vehicle. We need to give them respect. That's why you call senior citizens. They become senior citizens. It's an age that we all aspire. But unfortunately, because we have a societal failure, that in question is a question that we cannot be able to answer of. So people not respecting, not taking care of, it involves maybe financial, it involves part of it is societal decadence, moral standards not being enhanced. People don't know traditionally what they are supposed to do at the right time. And so all these factors put together makes it for us to see a situation whereby the respect and care for the elderly is dwindling.
All right, Mr. Lugard, I want to ask, when is the best time you think children can come together to spend some time with their aged parents, for that care, support, to just be with them, even when they are not as close as they ought to be compared to when they were growing up? Let's look at the instance of distance now. How can they balance that bond between themselves and their parent, that safety and that care?
Well, I would say there's no particular time to take care of the elderly. But what we have is sometimes we care for the elderly when they want to do their birthday, or maybe there's a special ceremony. Maybe when the person is getting married and you needed the grandma to be around, you buy them clothes and all that. I would say just the way you take care of yourself as a person, that is the way I feel and I think that we should take care of the elderly persons around us. What that means is that if you know you need food, then be able to also see how you provide food for the elderly around you, especially your parents. And if you need clothing, fine. Yes, they may not be so demanding because they are not going out to show off or go for one party or the other. But I think care is both psychological, material, financial. Yes, you may give them money Are they really going out to go and buy something? Not really. But whatever you think that will make them happy and also make you happy, because it's a stage in life that you aspire to be. And so you learn through that process. You also do, as the Bible says, my holy book say, you say, do to others what you expect them to do to you.
All right, Mr. Lugard Okonibo, thank you so much for being a part of Insight today, for sharing your well of experience when it comes to showing care, support when it comes to the elderly. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. And yes, Mr. Lugard Okonibo, he's the Director General, Nigerian Women Economic Development Project. Thank you so much for taking our time to be a part of Insight today. Looking at this critically, we understand that our parents, especially when the aged or elderly parents have been there for us as children, as guardians, as support systems, is an essential aspect that in our society we must reflect values and compassion towards the older generations. It is important and very, very vast that we provide care for the elderly. Involves meeting them in their physical and emotional social needs as they age. Remember, they were once our parents. They took care of us. It is our duty as children, as grandchildren, great-grandchildren, to show care, support, and assist the elderly. Now, if you're wondering, I do not have time, I am too busy, you must make out time. It's very important that we continue the bond of togetherness as family. Our aged parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, they have feelings too. And sometimes they become so lonely when they look around, their children are not there with them, their grandchildren are not there with them. Sometimes their great-grandchildren are often married and not there with them also. So it is our duty as children to care and show support to the elderly and, of course, our aged parents. Thank you all so much for being a part of Insight today. I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing week ahead.